Hey folks, Matt T back, and I have a very, I guess, concerning discovery on an oil filter, and I'm going to go over a few of them, but I have one that I bought and actually put on my car, and then after reviewing some photos, I found some very disturbing information on, and I want to warn you all about this oil filter because it is not looking good. Hey, before we get going though, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and of course ring that bell, watch these videos and share them and help me get that algorithm up there. And of course, let's continue on with the video. Now I have the Motorcraft that I'm going to feature in this, and also a Purolator Boss filter that I took some pictures of. In this Microgreen that, oh my gosh, this thing has got to be older than the hills. I think it's 5 years ago it was made. Also have a K&N, a Fram Titanium, and we won't talk about this one, but I will cut them all open in another video to cover everything. But for right now, this gold I'm going to set off to the side because these are the ones that I was primarily working with and was covering some photographs on. But first things first, we're going to go ahead and start with the Motorcraft FL500S and a few things that I discovered that were good on it and what we really need. Now in looking at the Motorcraft, you can see as this picture where I was zooming in on it, the punch holes for the oil flow are really nice and clean, and in the next one we look at the gasket, and the gasket is nice and clean. No excess materials on it, no not a lot of threading or metal that we could really see as far as the manufacturing process. So it does have a nice, good, clean process. It down in the filter down in there, I don't think we can see that well, but down in the filter you can't really see it, I don't think. I try to get down in there, but I don't see any real garbage that's hanging out in the filter that would be causing any concern. So there's really no metal shavings or anything else on this, as you can see. So this Motorcraft really has a good, QA on it, and the machining on it is pretty decent. So I was impressed with that. Now we have the Purolator that I had, and moving that up and over, this is the Purolator Boss, and again we have the gasket material, and notice the painting on there, not flaking off or anything else. Just like the Motorcraft, there's no paint flakes or anything like that. And then the machining is nice and clean. The holes are nice and clean, and the threading, very little material that I see there. And then down inside, in looking at it, nice and clean. Nothing really going on with this filter either. And it's just got a good QA to it, and the fit and finish are really good. And that makes me feel confident that the Purolator filter has a good clean process as they're building it, and as they're handling it, it has a nice clean process. Now this Microgreen, yes, I've never heard of it before. A friend of mine gave it to me, and it was built in like September 14th of 2017. So this filter's been hanging out for a while, but it is a Microgreen, and I'm going to say by the fact that it has a 22 marking on it, this would probably fit a Ford Edge 3.5, because the Motorcraft is also a 22. But they all do look similar. But if we look at the photograph on here on the gasket, you see that the gasket is really clean. Doesn't have anything in. The fit and finish on it is pretty good. The machining on it is really good. You can look at the holes. You can't find any marks. You don't see any real metal that is from the threads or anything that's gathered up on there. and the inside of the cavity is really nice and clean. Is like I said, there you go, you can see that. I'm finally getting the lights figured out. But the cavity in there is pretty decent. But yeah, it's a good clean filter as far as the manufacturing and quality assurance on it. And I'm going to give that a good rating. Now we have the K&N here that I have, and it was, I don't know, it's got markings on there. I don't know what those are, but let's just say it's fairly new, I guess. Don't know what the date codes are on it, but it's K&N black filter, nothing special on it. But what I'm really concerned with, and looking at the K&N, is also a nice clean gasket. I don't see any metal shavings or anything on it. The material that it's made of got a good Q&A. The machine marks for the holes are nice and cleanly punched. Really, this is a decent filter, and if you look in the inside of it there, you can see the inside. It's in decent shape. It really is. You don't see any material that is down in there or anything like that. Again, nice and clean filter, no problems. Don't have a problem with this filter either. It would serve its purpose and function. Now here's where I have the rub, folks. This is a Fram filter, top of their line, and it's a 20,000 mile filter. Okay, basically what I'm getting out of this is equivalent to Purolator Boss. Now you ask, why did I use, after all these years of using Purolator Boss filters on my Edge for the 3.5, did I buy a Fram Titanium filter? Well, it's quite frankly, the reason I did that was because there is a shortage of oil filters. There are no Purolator Boss oil filters for the 3.5 Edge in my local area, nor are they online on Amazon or anything like that. So I was having to go with the next best, and I like the higher quality filters, so I said I'll give the Fram Titanium a shot, and I'm going to regret it. And I'm going to show you why the Fram Titanium should not be used in your vehicle unless you want engine damage. Now the number one reason I'm going to tell you is this coating on this Fram filter is going to come back and bite Fram right in the derriere. Okay? There's a reason why this filter is not recommended by me for any purpose, for any engine, for any reason. And that is because of this coating right here. Let's look at the reason why. See that? See that flaking off of the material? Yeah, look at it. I can show you in the light. Look how that is flaked off. Okay? Now, look at the close-up picture of the gasket. Look at the gasket in there. See that material stuck in the gasket on the inside of the filter? All this material is flaking off, and it is actually getting onto the inside of the filter. That's right, it is flaking off, and it is actually in the bottom of this filter, if I can get the light in there. I know you guys can't really see it that well, but it is everywhere on the filter. And it is inside the gasket. Look at that. The material on the gasket, underneath of it, you can see parts of it flaking in there, and then it's inside in the gasket material itself, and it's flaking off inside of the filter itself, getting onto the filter. What makes this worse, folks, is look at the machining on this thing. I'm going to show you the machining. You can see the machining, the way they're hitting it. Here's a close-up picture of the machining. Their die is hitting at an angle and sliding, which means their die is not. Look at that. That's really you can see how it's actually striking and then sliding before it punches. And it's also creating, as you can see, metal, as far as small metal shavings and everything else that are going on inside there. And it's getting all over, and the threading is full of metal shavings as far as what's going on. So I put that filter on my edge with this material, this outside material, inside the filter. And it was in this inside right there where you saw, and it was in the filter. This is a heavy abrasive coating. It's like truck bed lining is really what it is. And you got truck bed lining essentially inside your oil filter, and it was inside here, so that means that it would then get inside the filter. Would it go through these holes and get caught up in the filter? I don't know. Okay, but what about on the inside as it's being shipped and packed inside the actual part that's going to go directly into the engine? And that is my concern on that as far as this filter goes. So this coating is getting everywhere inside the filter, and I'm unimpressed with it. And this is the first and last time I will ever buy a Fram Titanium filter, because they're going to have to get this flaky material figured out. This is poor quality assurance. They didn't think this through, and now this stuff is getting everywhere inside the filter, and it's going into your engine, and that's not good. Hey, it's Mac T, and remember, like, subscribe, join, all that good stuff. My feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day, and I want you to have a great day too. Band of One's got some great music, and Mercy Girl, she's always hanging out doing weird things like one-liners and trying to avoid working on Herbie. Love you, Mercy Girl.
Thank you for watching Mac T's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.